If you could have a drink with anyone in the theater world, who would it be? I'm Anthony Caporale, and I'm running through my list. Each week, I'll sit down with cast members, bartenders, and personalities from New York's theater district and get a behind-the-scenes look at what it's like to live, work, and play on Broadway. Come have a drink with us on Broadway Bartender. Welcome to Broadway Bartender. My name is Anthony Caporale, and we are here at New World Stages in the heart of New York's theater district, home to my show, The Imbible, A Spirited History of Drinking. And we're going to start out this week's episode with a tropical drink, a Bahama Mama. And hopefully that will clue you in to the identity of the show that we're going to be talking about this week. But this is a real old school, sort of tropical tiki-ish drink. I have a mixing tin halfway filled with ice, and what I'm going to start with is about a 1/4 ounce of Kahlua per drink, and that's a coffee liqueur from Mexico, rum base, and then I'm going to add some coconut rum on top of that, about a 1/4 ounce per drink, and then some dark rum, and I'm doing about a 1/2 ounce of dark rum per drink. Now that's a lot of sweetness in there with the Kahlua and the coconut rum, so I want to cut that with some fresh lemon juice, and this is the juice of about a 1/2 a lemon per drink. And then I'm going to top that off with a bunch of pineapple juice. And I'm using about 4 ounces of pineapple juice per drink here. And that is really sort of the main mixer in this. And then I'm going to shake it up really, really well in true tiki drink style. Many tiki drinks are blended. This one is shaken, but I want it to look like it's been blended. So what I'm going for is some nice froth on the top, a good head, and pineapple juice really, really foams up really well. It's gonna give me a really great look to this drink. And then when I am done, I will strain this into 3 tall glasses over fresh ice with a maraschino cherry on top. And you can see how nice and rich and creamy that drink looks. Almost like it's been in a blender or like it has cream in it. And that is very, very typical of this style of drink. And that is our classic Bahama Mama that we are serving to Tony Gonzalez. Welcome to Broadway Bartender. And Jane Cook, welcome. Both former cast members of the Uber, Super, Delta, Mega, whatever smash hit, Mamma Mia.
Mamma Mia.
Yeah, so happy Bahama Mamma Mia.
Cheers.
Cheers.
That's delicious.
Yeah.
I'm not mad.
Yeah? You okay?
I'm not mad. That
All
is
right.
good.
Awesome.
That is good.
That's awesome. That's
Thank you
great.
so much for coming. I really appreciate it. So we're talking about Mamma Mia for several reasons this week. One, I don't think you can really have a series on Broadway without talking about Mamma Mia. I mean, it's just unbelievable, you know, the impact that this show has had. But I also hear that they're working on a sequel to the movie.
Yes, and really that's why we're here, since we're both starring in it.
Right.
Right.
It's exciting news.
Apparently,
Anthony.
right?
Exciting news.
Yeah, so I'm catching some teasers. I mean, it looks like it's going to be back sort of in the spotlight again. But tell me about your time with, so first of all, tell me about your associations with the show.
I did the show in Vegas, the first time they did it in Vegas at the Mandalay Bay.
Wow.
And that's where Tony and I met each other.
Okay.
And then I went on to do it on the national tour. And then we ended up doing it together again. And kind of, we overlapped just a little bit, I can't even quite remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it sort of is the gift that keeps on giving. Because they really treat you like a family there, and they'll put people in different companies, and I've gotten a lot of work just from the people that I know within the show, and so it's a great sort of family, community, that type of thing.
So it's the kind of thing that just at this point it will always exist somewhere.
I think so.
Like as a property.
I think so.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
For sure.
And so your history. So we already know there's some overlap.
Yeah, there's a lot of overlap actually. I'm still working with the show actually. So I've been about 9 years with the original production. I was on the tour for a while. I went to Vegas for a while. I came to New York and on Broadway for a while. Back to the tour, back to Broadway. I just 2 years ago now was with the show when it closed. 2 years ago this fall, in fact. So it's been quite a ride, and I've just been working on a production in Pittsburgh currently. So
can't
there's
get
a
enough.
production that can't
Yeah,
He really
really?
likes it.
It's really
So, what are your roles in the show? Or what were your roles?
I have, right? I'm tipsy already. Sorry.
Yeah, go
I
for it.
apologize.
Go for
I'll
it.
drink.
I have been consistently a swing and dance captain with the show. So I have also been an associate choreographer on a cruise ship version also that I worked on. So I've kind of played all roles, many roles in the show. Not like the dads necessarily, but a lot of the younger roles in the show off and on through the years.
Like
so.
the hot boys with the scuba outfits, shirtless, you know.
Real?
Sure.
Oh, the good
Yes,
stuff.
Very good.
All the good stuff.
And you, Jane?
And me. Originally in Vegas, I was hired as a swing, which is similar to what he did. The girls were not topless, even though it was Vegas. We wore clothes. And then I was that for, I think maybe about 5 months or so. And then a track opened up to understudy the 3 female leads. And then I did that for my rest of the time with the show.
Tell us a little bit about Dance Captain, what that involves, and something, some of the things that you've done in that role.
It's really great if you, especially a long-running show, to get to have other involvement with the show than just coming to work at night and going and putting your makeup on and putting your costume on, doing your show, which is great as well, right? But Dance Captain I really enjoy because you get to rehearse during the day, and when new people come to the show, you get to rehearse them. Jane, we have rehearsed together many days, and so you get to be a part of the show on another level.
You teach the show to the new people coming in, usually replacements. As you don't do that with the original cast, obviously, but with replacements that come in, you teach them their specific track, and then you're in charge of keeping the show in tip-top shape, basically. So you're usually the dance captain is also a swing in the show, which means they understudy all the ensemble roles. And so how it works is if a principal is out, then the understudy goes on, and then a swing goes on for the ensemble person that is normally in that track who's now covering the principal role.
So you have the principal, you have an ensemble person that's their understudy. When they go out, this happens, and then the dance captain can go in for any of the ensemble people.
Exactly.
And so I think a lot of people don't realize that when someone else gets put into a show, other than the original cast, they're not sitting down and working with the original choreography or the original. It's your job to get them up to speed and plug them in seamlessly at the same level, right?
Yeah.
To this like well-oiled machine that they have to be able to just. That's
Operate
incredible.
into.
Yeah. How long does it usually take you to prepare somebody for something like this?
When I went in,
3 weeks usually.
Yeah,
You're given like 3 weeks, I think.
I was 2. I had 2
okay.
weeks when I went in, and I think I had 7 tracks, and then within the first 3 weeks of rehearsing, but it was my choice because the dance captain that I was working with, she was a female, and so we shared the 7 tracks, and I really wanted to get them all done so that I felt confident. So within the first 3 weeks of working, I did all 7 tracks.
And it's tough because you're not also with the whole cast, right? So like
you're by
you're
yourself.
just by yourself and the dance captain, and then you know what I mean? And then the dance captain's like saying there's gonna be someone to your left and there's gonna be someone to your right, and so it takes it's a challenging thing, especially if you've never done it before. Being a replacement in a long-running show.
Well, and then also just when you are the replacement going in, your nervous energy is off the charts, your opening night, but everyone else is like you're saying that well-oiled machine. So you're like grrr, and everyone else is like la la doing their thing. So it's a very I don't know, it's a very weird feeling.
So the first time that a replacement cast member performs with the entire cast could be on stage that night, like because they're not going to call a whole rehearsal.
Well, they do. They have a put-in. They have what's called a put-in. So that one person, like the cast member, the new person will meet with the cast, let's say that afternoon, or I don't know, whatever day it would be, and all the cast will be in their street clothes, normal rehearsal clothes or whatever, and then usually the person that's having the put-in is in their costume so that you can get used to your costume changes, whatever, and then you'll go into the show that night because you'll not have even heard the full orchestra before because you're just rehearsing usually with a accompanist.
I did a show in Vegas years ago, We Will Rock You, right? Queen music, and it was the first time that night was the first time that there was pyro, like pyrotechnics, like fire and everything. So I had never seen that until that night, and they're like during this part of the song, don't look to the right because like the fire's there. So that night, like you just feel just like warmth on the side of your body, and you're like, don't look. Like I was like telling myself not to look because you want to look. Like I'd never seen it before, you know what I mean? Or I'd seen it in the audience, but. So yeah, those things happen.
Yeah.
Like,
I have to come back to the Broadway experience of like you wake up in the morning and you know that night you're going to go and be in Mamma Mia on Broadway, and that's just your job. Like, that's what you do.
Yeah.
I mean, does that ever leave you, that like realization, or is it just kind of like?
Well, that's really sweet. Like, I kind of get emotional now that you say it like that.
no,
He's gonna cry.
Yeah, okay.
That's gonna happen.
But it is, it's funny because I think as a performer, you perform as well in this very space, and Jane performs and does voiceovers and does a lot of different things. I think as a performer, I could get on a tangent about like how you have to, every stage that you're on, whether it's on Broadway in New York City or in Las Vegas at Mandalay Bay or touring around the country, it's every stage is that, like, it's the same thing. Once you get on stage, it's the same thing, whether it's in this bar every night like you are, you know, there is a incredible energy because of the stigma that is Broadway, like that word. So much history here in this city, on these blocks, in this building. So when you at the Winter Garden Theater, when you think about all that, then yes, that is really, really incredible, and it's really, really incredible to live in one of the absolute greatest cities in the world, and to also work here and to do what you love doing, which we all have done here, which is really pretty amazing. So. Yeah, there was a cool feeling about it, and it's a cool. I just my roommate currently right now. I just was saying goodbye to her as I was leaving, and she was like, she's a dance captain as well with Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. What's it called? Charlie. Yeah. And she was like, she didn't have to go to rehearsal today, and she's like, I just get to go to the show tonight, and she like lit up, and she's like, that's a really cool thing.
That's a really cool thing.
So, really amazing.
I have to ask you how you got involved with Mamma Mia. What was your path to the show?
I was actually living in LA and auditioned there, and got the Vegas company. I went to an open call in LA, which is very different than an open call in New York.
Is it really? In what way?
Very. Well, I'm actually just new to New York too. I only moved here, I've been here now 3 years, but I was in LA before. And LA, an open call is like, I don't know, me and 6 of my friends. Like, it's like nobody. It's the most ridiculous thing. And then when I came to an open call in New York, I was like, what the hell is going on? It was like, lined up people, girls, curling irons, things. It was insane.
Yeah, it's a day.
But I booked it out of, it's crazy.
It's a day,
it's serious.
Sometimes it's the night before.
Exactly. It's like, holy up. So I booked that out of Vegas, and then when Vegas was closing, the creative team asked me if I would be interested in doing the tour. And for me, my husband was still in LA when I was in Vegas, so we saw each other every second weekend. He would come, he would drive, which is only a 4-hour drive, so it wasn't that bad. But that's challenging, and so I was like, I don't know if I want to go right away because, I might want to give my marriage a try. So then he's an actor, and so they were like, does he sing? Would he audition? So he did, and we did the tour together.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah, it was awesome. We were on the road together for 1.5 years.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
In the airport on Mondays, Jane would be like sunglasses and getting a Bloody Mary, and Vince would be behind with all the bags.
He was like my mule. He just carried my bags.
I think I'm kidding, but I'm actually not kidding.
What a great situation, though.
It was like the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah. And so your path to
Anthony, I also went to an open call here in the city years ago. I had auditioned in Las Vegas before, but it didn't work out that time around. And then this time there was an immediate opening. And so it was like, I went to a call, and then they called me like the next day, will you come again? Sometimes you go auditions, you go to callbacks, and sometimes it's over weeks and over months, depending on the show and their needs. But this was over like days, it all happened very quick. And I actually left like 2 weeks later for the tour, and met the tour in like Cincinnati or some place very exciting. Not so much, but nothing against Ohio, quite like Ohio.
No, absolutely.
But so it happened very quickly, and then it's all just gone from there, and it's been, again, a really amazing ride.
It's the dream story, right? That's just unbelievable. So tell me what you both are up to now. What can we find you in? What cool things have you worked on since?
Well, for me, one of the big things was moving to New York. That was a big change. And I did a regional gig called The Bikinis, which is was not in a bikini.
Okay.
That doesn't happen.
That doesn't make sense
Thank you,
to me,
sweet
though.
Jesus.
Right?
I know, but it's called The Bikinis. It's a cute little show. It's a little bit Mamma Mia-ish in the fact that it's 4 girls in a girl band singing.
Okay.
So that was cute. And now I'm doing a lot of voiceover stuff here in New York.
And Tony, what are you up to?
I just recently worked on a production of Mamma Mia in Pittsburgh, a regional production, which is not the same as the original production, but a lot of these regional theaters now, the show has been licensed out to different theaters all over the country. So I just worked on that, which was amazing, an incredible adventure.
How about one of you guys make me a drink?
Oh,
yeah.
Tony's pretty.
Yeah, you want to
good
step
with
back
making
here?
drinks.
I mean, I'm killing to get behind the bar. That's
I
amazing.
love it. Okay, so why don't you come right back here and I will talk you through it.
Okay.
Really, really easy.
Okay.
So this is a riff on a drink, a very famous Prohibition era drink called the Bee's Knees. And I'm going to go ahead and give you that.
Feeling
and you can
good.
go ahead and give
Thank you. I'm
me
gonna give you
mine.
that.
Thank you.
How
So
are
that's
you doing, Jane?
Who should we
Can I
switch
have-
mine?
Step
Who can I
one.
switch with?
Step one, take one more sip
One
before we
more
go
sip.
in.
good, yes. So you've already passed the first test of bartending is make sure everybody has a drink.
Makes me feel like I'm on the
That's
beach.
wonderful.
Okay, good to know.
So this is a variation on a drink called the Bee's Knees, Prohibition style drink, and it's a honey and gin drink.
Oh.
Really, really great, gin, honey, and lemon juice. But what I
Really
did,
mixing it up.
I am,
Having
and what
a
I
lot of
did
booze.
was I upped the honey quotient and renamed it to Honey Honey.
So good.
Right?
Honey,
Very
honey.
good.
Thank
Very
you.
Good. I'm into
Thank
it.
you
Killing
very
it.
much.
That's
Killing
really
it.
great.
Killing
Okay,
it.
so we're going to start with this mixing tin. So have you ever tended bar before?
I have not.
Oh, I love
Oh,
it.
he's a liar. He has at my apartment.
Oh, that counts.
Oh yeah, but I mean like pouring wine and like
Refilling my
it's
glass.
usually just really pretty straight like makers.
That counts.
Yeah.
Okay, so in that mixing tin, you're going to fill it about halfway up with ice.
Got it.
All right, and there should be an ice scoop right there.
There it is. Okay.
Great. And in front of the ice well, there's what's called a speed rail.
Got it.
And you can pick up one of the bottles is gin.
Go
Got
for
it.
premium.
There you
Yes,
go.
Daddy.
I love it.
We're doing well.
And we're going to do 1 ounce of gin per drink. So that's going to be a 6 count. So choreographers get this really quickly. You just want to turn the bottle straight up and down and count to 6.
Okay. Jane, count for me. 6, 7, 8.
1, 2, 3, 4,
right.
5, 6.
Perfect.
Got it.
Good. You can put that back in the rail. And then the next bottle back there is Drambuie Scotch liqueur, and that is actually a Scotch-based spirit, sweetened with honey and also herbs and spices.
Oh, wow.
Same thing. Nice 6
6
count. Yep. Perfect. I love it.
It's really smooth, like how that works in the spigot thing.
You know. Okay, and now we always want to cut sweetness with either sour or bitters. And I mentioned this originally had lemon juice in it, so we have some nice fresh lemon juice in there. And that pours a little bit faster, so you can just count to about 3.
I saw you do this.
Yes, because it keeps it a little more stable. Actually, you can do 6 at that rate. That's a
Right.
perfect, because you see how it's the same thickness as coming out of the pour spout, so he's doing it at the same rate. Perfect. And then we have some honey syrup, and that's equal parts honey and water. You always want to dissolve honey in water first because it doesn't dissolve well in cold liquids. So just warm water and honey equal parts, and that's beautiful. And you can do, at that rate, just what you did, a 3 count.
Okay.
All right, so we have honey, we have Drambuie Scotch liqueur, which has honey in it, gin, lots of nice beautiful herbs and botanicals, and fresh lemon juice. Yeah, it's just a
I
delicious
feel
drink.
like that's going to be
Gin
real good.
is like earth. I like the earthy part of gin.
Yeah. So now take that nice clean mixing glass, put it upside down,
Oh, good luck.
nice
good
and
luck.
gently, and just pull it to one side.
Pull it to one.
Yep,
side.
and then just push down gently and twist. You'll feel it lock.
Twist.
Yeah, you feeling it lock? It won't go anywhere.
Got it.
Great.
Wow.
So now take one hand, put it on top of the glass, the other hand on the bottom of the tin.
Okay.
And then you're just going to step
bottom
off the bar and just shake it.
Shake, shake, shake.
Yeah, now turn it a little bit so that it's, see that kind of curve that it's got?
That?
Yeah, spin the whole thing so that you're making an arc. There you go.
Ah, I see it. I see
Beautiful.
it, I
Yeah,
see it.
and really shake it. Yeah, push it towards your foot. Push it towards the foot of your right hand. There you go. Wow. Okay.
Did you go to bartending school?
I actually never went to bartending school. I just worked as a bartender for years and years and years, and now I teach at a culinary school here in the
You
city.
know so much about like what
much.
goes with
Oh,
what, this and
it's
that.
kind of the
So
job,
it's more
you know?
food oriented for you then?
I
Like
started
what
in the restaurant
pairs?
business, but I'm just gonna have him keep shaking because that's what you're supposed to do. Yeah,
We're on a
was in on
date
the
now. Never mind. Bartender, look away.
I always was in the beverage world
Okay.
while I was working in food, but I do both.
Oh yeah.
Okay, you go ahead and
That's
stop
awesome.
because you got a nice. See how that tin is nice and frosted now?
We like that
That's
frost.
awesome.
I mean, it's I'm frozen.
Yeah, and it should be.
The musical.
So now what you want to try and do is just push that glass over to one side and it should come right out. There you go.
Oh, Tony.
Turn it upside down so it drains.
Yep.
Just turn it upside down?
Upside.
Yeah, great.
No.
And then you're going to take that strainer off the top of that tin and put it right on top of this one.
Got it.
Yep. Swing that handle around. There you go. Yeah, finger just right there. Perfect. And then I want you to pour it into those 3 glasses. Pull them over closer towards you.
Nervous.
I'm so nervous.
Tony, you're doing great. This is fantastic.
He has a shaky hand.
And now I want you to pour them, but don't fill up one. I want you to do like halfway each.
Okay.
And then you're going to fill up the rest of them kind of as you go, so you get an even pour.
Okay.
All right. So you do about a little half in the first one, yeah, and then the next one, and now you can kind of get a sense of how much is left in the tin because you can feel it.
Right. Isn't your hand so cold at this point?
It is, but they say that chefs end up with Teflon hands.
Really?
Yeah, because they're used to getting burned all the time, and bartenders end up with like down hands, like insulated. You just can't. Yeah.
Jane, you're not watching
So-
this.
Listen,
This
Look how good he's doing.
Oh my
Right,
God.
and that's everything in the tin. That's a perfect split pour. Tony,
Yeah, that's really even.
Yeah.
you are
Killed it.
Very good about it.
prodigy. I love it. Great. Okay, and just pass those out, man.
There's like no garnish, Anthony? Wait, we need.
You can do a lemon drop, like lemon and sugar if you want, or you can just do lemon. But I don't think this drink really needs anything.
Doesn't need it.
No, because the extra honey syrup in there and the drambuie is wonderful.
Ladies.
Thank you.
First. Anthony.
Thank you.
Your name.
Look at that beautiful ice
Yeah.
chips over the
It's
top.
Okay.
Again, I'm not mad.
Cheers.
Cheers, you guys.
Cheers. Thank you, honey, honey.
Honey, honey.
I feel like I have to like sip it like that.
Nicely done, my friend.
All right.
You like that?
Yeah.
You getting those gin botanicals
too
out of there?
sweet.
And I'm not mad that
I
it's
thought
not
it was
too sweet.
going
I
to
thought it
be
was
too
gonna
sweet. Me too, with the
Wait,
honey, but I guess that
gin-
lemon cuts it then.
Yeah.
Is
It's
that
also
what you were
that.
saying?
Is it drambuie? That's
Drambuie,
interesting.
yeah.
I don't think I've
Yeah,
ever had drambuie.
Yeah, so drambuie is a really classic Scotch drink from the 50s. It's best known for a rusty nail. So if you ever heard of a drink called a rusty
yeah,
nail,
I've
it's
heard that.
half
I've
Scotch
heard
and
that.
half drambuie.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, it's
so
really good.
That's our honey honey. Okay, so websites, where can people follow you guys?
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, see, we're like of the age, we're like older than like the website
You know what I'm
video
saying?
So that means
thing.
you're on Facebook apparently, because
on
my
Facebook.
niece just
I do
explained
have
to
an
me.
Instagram, which is a big thing.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, it's Instagram is
Yeah.
Tony D Gonzalez.
Okay,
if you
great.
need to.
Anything you would like to
Red
plug?
Hot Cook.
Yes.
Ooh, I love it.
With an E.
Red Hot, Jane Cook, and Tony Gonzalez, both from the smash mega uber hit Mamma Mia, all different forms of show. Thank you so
Thank
much. This has
you.
been so fun,
Anthony, you're so sweet.
educational, and I
For
know
us
our
as
viewers
well.
are just going to love finding out about the behind the scenes look at such a massive, impactful project. That's just great.
Yay.
Thank you so much, guys. Folks, BroadwayBartender.com, recipes, links, tune in next week. Drink well, drink responsibly.
Yes.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Nicely done, sir.
Hey, that was fun.
That is just
I'm not mad
delicious.
about that.
Yeah.
Nicely done.
Very good.
James.
Thank you.
Thank
That was
you.
so fun.
Thank you.
So
Thank
fun.
you. Nice
So we're
work.
gonna do some some pictures. Thank you. You guys
Great.
are
Thank
great.
you. Great to meet
That was
you.
so fun.
Really great. So just grab a drink and let's step back here and they'll snap some
Everyone.
pics for us.
Hiya.
You're on the center. Jane.
Okay. I think